Welcome to the Northern Outdoorsman Podcast, where we're going to talk about hunting, fishing, and the great outdoors. Things might get a little bumpy, so jump on in. We're going for a ride. Morning, Hunter. How are you?
Good.
No, you're not on your phone now, so we're at least a little better off. We also have Paulie here.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, Paul. How are you?
Good, how are you?
You're just going to keep hitting that button every time you got to talk? No, just shake the head no. Anyways, hi, Hunter. We're about, a couple days into hunting season now.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had our first weekend, and we're into the middle of the week. How's it going?
All right.
Yeah.
Not the best of deer seasons yet for me. Different for you.
Yeah, I already got my doe, but that was luck, I guess.
Yeah, the luck you took from me.
Yeah. You said good morning. You know that's a bad thing to wish me luck.
I know. Should have never done it.
I always wish everybody luck, but usually it's already, done when I'm done.
Yeah.
I think I shot her, 10 minutes after I said good luck to you.
No, we sent good luck to each other at 5. You shot her at 7.
I wasn't up at 5 yet. Okay, we're not pulling proof. I might have been up at 5. No, I was 5:30, 5:45.
We'll pull out proof later.
Andrew's phone started going off at 5, and he didn't wake up till 5:15, 5:30.
He said he was going to do one alarm. I'm like, oh.
It did, but it just kept going because he doesn't wake up for his alarms. It was horrible. I'm sitting there just wake up. Just wake up. Just wake up.
Just get water.
Just hit snooze.
Just get water.
I wasn't getting my chair soaked in water. It wasn't happening. At all.
Different.
At all. But anyways, yeah, so I got my doe not long into the morning. I think I sat for an hour and 45 minutes altogether. So that made life a little easier because now I can take my time and everything, and I got the one out of the way. But yeah, definitely a interesting hunt. I've never really had luck in the early morning. Mine's always been afternoon hunts.
Same.
So for it to happen right off the bat with, her walking in and everything. And I tried 2 new methods this year. So I've never been one for scent control, really, or caring about it. I know some of you guys are crazy with it and have to be sprayed down and all that. I'm kind of saying I'm getting on board.
It's different.
It's, it's not much work to do it. I got my tote and everything gets sprayed down afterwards with a light spray of what is it? Scent something.
Scent killer?
Scent killer. There it is. I don't know. There's so many of them out there.
You got the gold edition, Scent Killer, 99, and I forget the other.
Yeah, I have a bottle of it that I bought years ago and never used. So I just started spraying down like I did a couple weeks ago, sprayed all my stuff down, threw it in a tote, and then something we've been keep getting told about is nose jammer, which I have a bottle of it right here. I can't really stand the smell when it's on my clothes. It's a good smell when it's out of the cap, but it's I don't know, did you actually ever smell it?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean,
we're not sponsored.
No, not at all. I wish. That would be freaking sweet. I would wear it as cologne at that point. It's good. It's for me, it's vanilla-y, and I guess other people have different smells when they smell it. But that doe, I think she caught me in the tree stand or something, didn't like what she saw, ran to wind me, and when she got in where the wind was, she just kept walking right towards me, nose up in the air trying to find me, and had no clue I was there. She saw me in the tree stand, she had to have, and then ran around to wind me, and then just kept walking right at me till she was 20 yards. Then she was entirely too close in the wide open, so I drew back, thinking, well, maybe she won't see me. And she was dumb enough to run back 10 yards, so she ended up being at 34 yards altogether. And then stood broadside, partially quartered away. And the other new thing I started is I've never used mechanical broadheads before. And this year was the first year I was finally okay, I'm not going to keep talking crap about them because when I first started bow hunting, they were crappy. And everybody always had issues with it. I know a lot of guys that lost deer with them.
I mean, they're still are crappy.
So they're not good with your fixed broadheads. If you hit a branch or something like that, or some leaves or tall grass, if you're shooting through some tall grass, it won't affect it that much. It will, if you hit a big enough branch or anything, or little twigs or anything, But the mechanical ones, man, you hit even like a little branch or a leaf sometimes can open them up and then they're flying weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you what, that it was a Rage that I was using, which we're not sponsored by neither, but that would be awesome as well.
I still
That-
want to shoot the broadheads.
That did a number on her. I mean, pulled part of the lung out through the exit hole. And she ran around in a circle. And when we got to looking at the blood trail, like where she started, she did like a 10-foot circle. The blood went straight through the circle where the broadhead went until it hit the ground and then flung up into a tree and was about, chest level at an angle, not in a tree, but hanging on branches. It was kind of cool when I saw it. And I was kind of really confused at first. But when we went and checked the blood trail again, it literally it hit her so hard. For one, Andrew, who was like 100 yards away from me, thought I hit a tree. Instantly, when I called him to tell him that I hit her, he was like, why'd you shoot a tree? And I'm like, I didn't. That was the doe I shot. And he's like, it sounded just like I hit a tree with a baseball bat. And it whacked hard. It was just, the sound it made was like, oh, as soon as I heard it, I'm like, yeah, I hit her. Because she was in the wide open. There was no trees or branches to hit or anything like that.
I mean, I still never use Rage. I'm more of a G5 guy. Fixed broadheads.
See, I know everybody has their bow brands and their broadhead brands. Like I still haven't got out diamond bows. I've had them since my youth bow when I was 12. And I still own a diamond to this day. I'm looking at other bows. Like I've looked at Bear. I like some of the Bear bows that are coming out. But I was always, when it came to broadheads, it was always a fixed muzzy. And I've killed a lot of deer with a fixed muzzy. But it was like everybody keeps telling me like Dad shot a lot of Rage with his crossbow. And it's been nasty. It's made some nasty holes.
I will never trust mechanicals. You've seen the doe I hit with the mechanical.
Yeah.
Blades didn't open, but she was bleeding like hell. But
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I mean,
I'm not gonna trust it.
I still I'm on the fence now. If I'm still using this nose jammer this year, and I'm still gonna use that or mechanical broadhead. If it happens all the same way again, I'm going to be sold and being like, "Yep, okay, scent control, nose jammer, mechanical." Now, don't get me wrong. I only have one mechanical blade in my quiver, and I have 3 fixed blades just in case. And I also have a squirrel head. So I got that from you because, yeah, it is squirrel season. And when they're just entirely too close and you're bored because you've been sitting there for 4 hours and that red squirrel just won't leave you alone, it's good practice.
It's good. Yeah. I've lost a couple of arrows shooting at squirrels.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where you get too irritated.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people say that
Ruin your
squirrels
hunt.
and chipmunks are the greatest things in the world for the deer because all you see.
If they're comfortable, everything else will be comfortable. So, really, shut your car off. Thank you. I don't know if anybody could hear that, but we could, and it was annoying. Paul don't know if we could hear it or not. It might have been faint enough where you guys didn't hear it, but if you didn't, neighbor's car alarm was going off, and that's the hardest part about being in town. Like, you hear everything.
Yeah.
Like, hopefully the whistle don't go off for the fire alarm. I mean, we have another hour until noon, but who knows? Last time it went off, we had to start recording all over again because I forgot where we were at, and then 15 seconds it was going off. But that's why I wish we could have a place out in the woods and we could do it, because then all you're going to hear is trees falling and, hopefully not destroying our camper that is
But
what we're using.
yeah, I'm never gonna ever trust mechanicals.
So I know with like some mechanicals, even if they don't open up completely or anything like that, they still have a really good cut radius.
They do, but it's that chance that I'm not willing to take.
The ones with the rubber bands, I will never use again, because just like I always used to have the peep sight with the rubber cord. How many times I've pulled back on that, either target practice or like out in the woods, and that cord is dry rotted and snapped. Well,
Those are fun.
Yeah, no, it's not good when you have a really nice one in front of you and you pull it back and you twing, and your peep sight's spinning. But just like the rubber band, mechanicals, that's what, like, when I first started hunting, that's what everybody used. Well, if that rubber band, breaks or something like that, and they were really easy to open up, that's why they needed the rubber band. They start flying, just the air would open them up, then they fly different if only one blade opens up.
Yeah.
So I like the newer ones where it's got that little plastic piece at the bottom that kind of locks in and breaks easy, and you can also use it more than once. It's set to use twice at least. Like mine, I cleaned it all off with water, and then I like air blew it out to get all like the hair and gunk and stuff off it, and it looks brand new. Besides, you can see where it broke the little cuts out in it, and then I just spun it, put it back in, and it's ready to rock and roll again. I'm on board with you on the point of, like, it's hard to trust something that's mechanical because mechanics can fail. I mean, everything. Your gun could jam, your bow could snap. Everything's mechanical.
Yeah.
There's always something go wrong. But I tell you, that was the nastiest hole I've ever seen get put through a deer. I mean, it pulled a chunk of lung out through the exit hole. It made that much of a mess.
I mean, those fixed broadheads I used last year,
I still have my
that left a nice hole with a crossbow.
Yeah, I still have like my Muzzy fixed ones, and they have like the bloodlet in it, and they've made some nasty holes as well. But I've also hit bone with those, and nothing happened because they don't have like the bone breaker on the front.
Even those, you can't really trust it.
This shot that I took on that doe, it couldn't have been a more. I mean, tap myself on the back, I guess, for all the practice that we've been doing this season. You even if you can't 100% be like, all right, I'm shooting in between the fourth and fifth rib, and if you can, more power to you, because I can't, and I have really good eyes, but I can't be like, all right, 2 inches behind the shoulder line is that right there. But the hole it made, I never touched a single bone, so that's another reason it's like I want to try it again, because if I do hit shoulder, is it going to change that? Or like if I do hit a rib, I mean, it was perfectly in between the ribs on entrance and exit.
I don't know why you just didn't take your carcass and shoot it.
What?
The bones.
No, because no. I mean, yes, I understand there are people that do that.
I mean,
like,
that's easy to test everything in the world in case that incident happens. You take that shoulder and you shoot it once.
yeah,
Then you'll really see.
yeah, but I don't
okay,
want to
it
waste
does
any
this.
more meat doing it neither.
How you gonna waste the meat? You already carved out.
Yeah, but then you're taking away the hide, the skin, or the hair, the hide. You're taking away the meat from the shoulder.
Yeah.
And then, so you're just shooting at a piece of bone. Yeah, I could go shoot at my tree and tell me my broadhead's going to work.
It's
and open
different
up.
than you're shooting at the deer's bone, though.
Yeah, but you're also taking out all the other factors.
Yes, but then you're gonna fully know yourself though that it's gonna go through the bone.
I mean, I've
How
seen
much
I've
meat
seen
are
the,
you gonna go through a rib? Not a lot. You're going through the hide and that's it. You're not going through a lot of meat.
Well, I know, but if you're hitting the shoulder, you got a lot of meat. You got a lot
Depending
of.
on where you hit it in the shoulder.
I understand your facts, Hunter, and I'm gonna get real close and talk real gentle to you before I hurt you. No, I understand what you're saying, but like if I was just to put like the scalpula out there and shoot at it, yeah, but you're missing the hide, you're missing all the other things that already start to open that before it hits the bone.
You can take the hide.
Oh my god, I'm not skinning out my deer and doing all of the butchering and all that just to take a piece of meat, glue it to the bone, glue a piece of hide onto the bone, and shoot it at 30 yards. Like, I understand there might be somebody that does that or just shoots at a carcass or something like that to test their broadheads. But, like, I sharpen my muzzies when they need it. It will work until it doesn't work. And when it doesn't work, I'm not going to 100% blame the mechanics unless I go up to it. And I did it first, I'll be honest. Because when I shot that doe and I found my arrow, I didn't think one of the blades ejected because it had locked itself back into that plastic piece. And I instantly called Dad because Dad's the one that's been, you got to try him. You got to try him because he loves them for his crossbow. So he's like, you got to take these. You got to try these. Here they are. He's had for like 4 years, he's had these Rage just sitting there in a box. And he was like, take them and try one. And I hemmed and hawed. And finally, I grabbed the box and I was like, all right, you pick one. So he picked one. And then I looked at my daughter Zoe and was like, Zoe, you pick one. And they picked the same one. So I was like, okay, I'll just take that one. Said if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And main thing that was in my head is like it took me so long to shoot at her with it because it was like, if this don't open up, and I just wounded deer, and that's the worst thing in the world is just wounding one. I know it happens, and there's certain things that just things happen. They duck your arrow and you wound one or whatever. Like it happens, but man, you just feel terrible about it. And I didn't want to add to myself a reason why that deer could be wounded. So when I found the arrow and I didn't think it opened up fully, I instantly called Dad. I'm like, these things are horrible. I just wounded this deer. A blade didn't even fully open up. And at that time, she was bleeding when, like, you know, in the first 15 yards, she was bleeding, but not good. I mean, we found the part of the lung, but the way it fell into the dirt, it almost kind of looked like that gut, like when we saw yours. That's instantly what I saw. That was the first thing I saw. And I was like, oh, I gut shot. I know that arrow wasn't in the guts, like when I saw it, but it was so hard to tell. It was just like, no. And then I found the arrow and it wasn't fully opened up. And it was like things started adding in my head. And then when I got home and started, like, well, when we found the deer 2 hours later, we let her sit for a little while to make sure she was dead before we went and tracked her. Because I didn't see her go down or didn't hear her go down. She ran about 125 yards, which I give her credit because the lung, when we opened it up, there was just nothing left. It hit it so hard, like you could see the hole where the arrow went through it, but it was just ripped and torn in other directions. So it was, when I got home, you know, we saw that you know, we looked at it after skinning it out before we started butchering it up. We saw that, you know, it was a triangle and not just a line with like a hole. So we knew it opened all the way up. And I went back and looked at the broadhead and was like, okay, that did open all the way up, just kind of locked behind that plastic again. But there was so much hair and everything on it that it was also kind of sticky. So it made it not want to open back up. So it was like, okay. So, but now that I know what it did and I got it back home and cleaned it and, you know, everything's working good on it again. I sharpened the blades a little bit on it. I'm like, it's ready for round 2. And the nose jammer is ready for round 2. The only part I've figured out with the nose jammer that I don't like is it is 100% a squirrel magnet.
That's good.
I mean, it makes them comfortable with you for sure, because Andrew had it on and he had a squirrel literally run on his lap yesterday or 2 days ago when he was up on state land. Was sitting on a log and all these squirrels were running around and one came and messed with his bow. Of course, he covers himself with it. You know, I pretty much just spray my hot parts. So I spray like my legs, you know, spray the grundle a little bit, and then in the armpits.
Smelly areas.
Yeah, the hot spots that are gonna be smelly anyways. The thing is, when you overspray with it, like Andrew sprayed before he got to my house, and as soon as he opened up his truck door, I'm like, "You've already sprayed." He goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, I could smell it, and for me, like, it's almost overpowering. And I like smelling everything else in the woods. You know, I like to smell the leaves. I'm one of the firm believers you can smell a buck when he's nearby or in his area. Smells like a goat. I know you're instantly looked at me like I'm crazy.
You are crazy, but I have smelled it too.
Yeah, it smells like a male goat that's been peeing on themselves. It's the same musty smell.
It's just a musty smell.
So I like to smell that stuff. So I don't.
Beaver, for all we know.
No, beaver's a lot different. But that's the thing. Like, I don't like it overpowered on me. Like, that's why I spray, so at least it's out there. But I don't want to just smell that when I'm hunting.
Yeah.
For one, my nose doesn't like I like the smell, but it instantly gives me like a full nose feeling, like I got congestion or something. So I learned to just spray like the hot spots, and I cover my legs. It's not up by my head. I spray on my boots, so like, you know, if I did step in anything, it's jamming that out. So there's, if that works, the nose jammer works again, and I have one walk in up or, you know, downwind of me with the nose up and just confused, I'm like, I'm 100% sold on it, and I will be telling everybody about it in personal life and on here.
Yeah, I know.
And the fixed blades or mechanical, I will always have both. I'll never just go out with just, because depending on where you're shooting through too, like I would, if it was a little thick, like maybe a little grass or something, you had a good shot, but you have a chance of hitting some like goldenrod or something like that, I would switch to having a fixed broadhead. And vice versa, if it's wide open like the doe I shot was, I'm going to have just my mechanical on. Just for, 2 and 2, because I can fit 5 in my quiver, so I'll have 2 mechanical, 2 fixed, and my squirrel.
Sure.
Until turkey season, and then it's going to be all turkey arrows. Which I'm looking into that too. Like, I don't know what would be better to shoot. Do you want the guillotine turkey cutters, or do you want a fixed one? Or, I mean, the guillotines are nice because they're like a 4-inch cutting pattern. So
I know you can only hunt with archery, but I'm still gonna stick with my Mossberg.
I mean that.
I'm not gonna screw with something that's already perfect.
I mean, the challenge of it, man.
I already have
on that
I already have a challenge. I can't call them into gun range. How am I going to call them into 20 yards?
You just got to get back. I mean, your shotgun can only go about 40, 50 yards. Pretty good. Get to where you could shoot
60.
Get to where your bow can shoot 60 accurately. You'll have better chances.
Oh, yeah. The shaky me.
Can you hear him? Okay. Yeah, so if anybody can hear, it's my neighbor's dogs are going off like crazy because squirrels are running around collecting everything, and these dogs just hate squirrels. I think they'd be really good squirrel dogs, actually, because they absolutely go crazy, and now I can hear a squirrel barking at the same time.
Red tail.
But anyways.
When you get good, you get good, all right?
All right, here we go. 2-2. Oh, Paulie's not talking to us. He's trying to throw hand signals. Steal second base, run for the corner. Okay. 22 minutes in. I got that part. I can see the clock on the computer, so I know when we started. Yeah. Math. Don't close out. See, that's why we don't record things on with the video yet. Which we'll hopefully be doing soon. We're going to try to get video in with this. But we wanted to start going right into it. And Paulie brought up a topic he wanted to kind of talk about. Well, he's not going to talk. He wanted us to talk about. And that's EHD with deer. And if anybody don't know what EHD is, it's a disease. And I'm not going to try to say it because there's E's and P's and Z's. And there's a zoo in there, a zootic. Paulie, how do you say that?
Epizootic hemorrhage disease.
That one. So EHD, that's a lot easier for someone like me. And that's one they're kind of saying in New York State to be watching out for with deer now. And we always got to watch out for chronic wasting disease, which I don't know if there's been reports yet on chronic waste disease in New York yet this year.
I haven't seen any.
I know New York State was like the first to have CWD, but we are also the only state to get rid of CWD. So they say. I mean, PA has it. So if PA has it, I mean, we're pretty much kissing cousins to PA where we live. It's only 15 minutes away into the PA line. So if PA has it, they don't know state lines to stop deer. Be like, I'm sick. I can't go into there. They don't know any better. But no, EHD, I really didn't know much about EHD, and I started looking it up a little bit. It's non-transferable to humans or deer to deer. It's only through the can't-see-ums or no-see-ums, the little bugs that everybody calls something different. They're just midges. Is that what they're called?
I have never heard of it.
You've never seen a can't-see-um?
No.
Well, that makes no sense in what I just said. The little tiny like gnats, like when we're turkey hunting. You know what I'm talking about? Them little pricks that bite us all goddamn time.
Mosquitoes?
No, not. Did I say mosquito? I did not say a mosquito.
You
They
said
carry
something that bites us.
No.
I've only been bitten by a mosquito.
You liar. They're the little tiny black bugs. They're tiny.
I've never got bit by one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like, I've never had a tick on
Well,
me
that's
either.
because you probably taste sour and they know it. They're these tiny little black bugs that they're like flies and they're called midges or no-see-ums or what did they say? What's that up there, Paul? Punkies? Is that another name? That's
Or punkies.
Punkies? Yeah, so I guess it's transferable through that. Which there's other things. Like, I never knew that deer had so many diseases that they can transfer to other things.
Yeah.
Like, I know because we have the alpaca farm that, like, one of the big things against alpacas is, like, it's called, like, a meningia worm. And it's a paralyzing worm that goes from when a slug or a snail goes over deer poop, and then it goes on to grass, and it gets this meningia worm, and then it lays the eggs or something of it. I haven't fully looked into it. All I know is my alpacas can get it, and I have to give them shots once a month like I did yesterday. And it's such a pain. But I guess it affects moose too now. Or not now, but always has.
Yeah, just now.
Yeah, just this year it started affecting them.
Yeah,
No,
moose are just getting weak.
I heard that like up in, I think it was affecting our moose in the Adirondacks in New York. They were thinking there was cases of this paralyzing worm. And I know with the alpacas, it affects them fast. Paul, could you look that up? What is I think it's like a meningia worm or something like that affects, it's transferred from whitetail. I don't even know if it goes from other deer species, but it goes from whitetail to other animals. But I know with alpacas, it's like 2 to 3 days. If you don't get it treated, they're pretty much gone. That's in goats. See if it affects moose. If it's the same thing I'm thinking of.
It probably
So
is.
whitetail meningia worm.
I mean, they're in the same family.
Well, I know, but certain things like it doesn't affect deer because they're the ones. Brain worm or meningeal worm, another long word that I'm not going to say, is a parasitic roundworm that affects cervids in North America. The species is a slender roundworm commonly found in the brain cavity. White-tailed deer are the normal host of the brain worm, but moose, elk, caribou, and mule deer are also... What's that last word? Yeah,
Susceptible?
that one. It's so weird. It's in blue, so it's like making my eyes hurt. I know. Yeah, it also affects. Oh, there's a little diagram of it right there, Paul, where how it gets transferred and everything. I see the snail.
Snail goes on deer poop.
Oh, now we're really going. There's a picture of the roundworm. So yeah, so it goes through their digestive system, up their spine into their head, and then from their head down to back into their stomach, and then they poop, and then the worm or the snail gets the eggs back into the deer, or vice versa into something else. But other things, I guess, can't, like, it doesn't affect deer. Like, it doesn't affect the white-tailed deer as much, I guess. It affects everything else. I love the picture of the deer poop. Like, the deer has its tail half up looking at, like, what it just did, and there's a steaming pile of deer poop. Whoever made that graphic is my hero. Like, that's
It's
just...
from the DEC.
I see that Department of Environmental Conservation in New York's page. Like, whoever made that graphic is my hero now, because it's fantastic. Yeah, meningeal worm. Deer parasite that uses snails as a secondary host. Alpacas get infected when they eat those snails, or even when they come into contact with the snail trail. Yeah, I know that's the big part with ours. Like, we gotta, of course, where our farm is, there's deer that literally go right up next to it. So
Start whacking and stacking every
we can't shoot them in town. I would like if the town ever says that we can bow hunt in town, I'm never going anywhere else.
I'm just shooting them out in my bedroom.
Yeah.
We're
No,
calling it a day.
I wanted to even bring it up to him because we do have a lot of deer in town, and not that they cause really that much damage to our alpacas, but they're also just there's a lot of deer in town. And I know some people have issues with them in town with eating their bushes and
Tell the
stuff like
hunters
that.
stop pushing them.
No, they just live here, man. There's not like there's actually like well, during gun season there's more of them in town. But
Yeah, they know they're safe.
we have like I think we're at like 4 or 5 does now that are or like through the generations we've had them here. And like one we have, she's 4 years old and she just had 2 fawns this year. And her 2 fawns from last year are still around. Like we watch them all the time because they always go back to the same spots. especially when they're safe in town.
Mm.
But them, I have timed, man. It would be such an easy hunt. I would just, I would just time them and be like, okay, yeah, every night at about 5 o'clock, they come out in the field to eat, I just sit in the alpaca pen. They wouldn't, we've walked up to them before, they've never had an issue while we're target practicing with our bows. They've never had an issue with, we've had them damn near close enough while shooting our bows.
Is that a target?
Why is that target moving? But yeah, no. I know there are some towns and cities that are. I think one of our local cities, Jamestown, was talking about having certain areas in town that could be hunted.
Yeah, but then they took it away.
Did they?
I'm pretty sure they took it away. There was an incident of a couple arrows flying into people's houses.
Nice. Well, that's where like everybody's argument is, and I think if they were to do it, you would have to go not just getting your hunting license, but like go to the town and be like, maybe some kind of paperwork and be like, okay, I'm the one that I'm hunting here, just so if something happens, you're not just slinging arrows. And you have to have more than it's like my yard. I have deer in it all the time, but I own less than an acre right here.
That's plenty.
But my neighbor behind me, he has 10 acres. Our other editor, DJ, he has 10 acres in town that he can't really hunt because he's like almost on the outskirts, but still
Hunt the border.
Yeah. So, it's like you'd have to have over 5 acres. Because if you have 5 acres and you're in the middle of it hunting, unless you're really good with your bow and shooting through all of the woods or whatnot, you're not really going to hit a house or anything. And it still stands that you got to be 500 feet away, or it's 200 feet with a bow, right?
200 feet with a bow, 500 with a rifle.
Right. Well, and I would never say you could hunt in town with a rifle, or even a shotgun, because that's nuts. That's just, I don't giggle at me. I don't care. I think that's crazy. Because there's so many chances of being like, okay, well, that house is over there, but there's a lot of trees and there's that deer. Well, I've seen slugs act like pinballs, man. Ding, 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 ding through the woods. Unless you hit a tree square, they're going in other directions. They're not just instantly stopping. So that's...
Like, my property, you've seen where it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird area to hunt.
Yeah.
You don't know where the houses are fully because it's a lot of backwoods, camps out in the woods and all that. So you do got to be careful. But the property owner did give me permission to sit in his
by his guard,
by his garden, and he told me to start shooting the deer.
Well, I've had so many people tell me, be like, oh, you hunt? I'm like, yeah. They're like, man, these deer are killing my roses. It's like, I don't know what to tell you. There's spray you can put on them to detract the deer.
Irish Springs or whatever that soap is. It's Irish something.
Listen, I only ever used to use Irish Springs because we grew up a little bit poor.
Is it Irish Springs?
I think that's one of them. There's another one too.
They say to put the shavings of Irish Springs around.
I always thought
garden.
that was a deer attractant because when I was young and I never used that, and I would always take a shower right before going out because a lot of time you get home from school or had gym class or something, be like, oh, I'm not going to go out stanky, so I'm going to go home and shower up. And I would use Irish Springs, and I killed a lot of deer when I was little using Irish Springs.
That's why you don't participate in gym class when you're going deer hunting that afternoon.
Listen, look at me and look at you and tell me who didn't participate in gym class. Exactly. This boy loved gym class.
I did too.
Hence why I'm the guy that still likes to hike the mountains and run like crazy.
I love gym class, especially when we played football or floor hockey or something. Something when we can beat on each other and not get in trouble for it.
Yeah. And real quick, because I just told you, so I just bought a bino harness. Because I want to try that because the Army ruined me and whenever I go on anything, I have to take extra gear with me. So I'm always got my backpack and it's always like 20 to 30 pounds. And I was like, for a lot of times I like to do the stalk hunts. That's really nuts to have on you when you're with a bow and you have your 20, 30 pound backpack and you're trying to still hunt or stalk hunt. So I finally broke down and bought a harness.
How does it feel?
I don't know. I haven't got it. Or are you talking? How does it feel to break down finally?
Yeah.
Oh, so because we're trying to do a lot more state land hunting and stalking like that. and I like to take my climber out.
This don't stalk.
Yeah, we know that.
This sits.
You know how hard it is to stalk with a tank? Yeah, I bet you do.
It's fantastic.
So I finally broke down and bought one because, of course, I don't ever carry binoculars with me because we don't. Nowhere we hunt, our bino's going to help that much because it's usually so thick and hardwoods that you can't. Like, if I can see it with my binos, I can probably see it with my rangefinder.
Oh, what do you mean? I don't even put binos in mine. I put little Debbie's in mine.
Yeah.
It's just an easy grab and go.
That's another reason I was like, well, my main reason I carry, like, my backpack is I always carry, like, a rain jacket or, you know, it's getting colder in the season. I carry the heavier jacket. But I don't need to take that for every hunt. And if I do, I can always throw my littler backpack on with just that stuff. But I needed something still to carry, you know, my grunt call, my rangefinders, my extra release if I find that, because I've lost it now. I have actually one because you brought it up and I was like, I do have one. And I was like, and now I can't find it. So
I have one sitting in my car.
So apparently I don't have my extra release. But anyways.
I always carry it. I always put one in my car or in my vehicle or dad's truck or something. We always used to leave one in there.
I still practice with shooting with just my fingers sometimes.
You
just
ain't
for the
no recurve. You're shooting a compound.
That's okay. I shoot my compound with just my fingers.
No.
And it's not as accurate, and if it was the case of like I had to, I would, but it would probably have to be more of like if I got like 2 miles into the woods and went, I forgot my release. It's probably just going to be a short day of hunting. Because I'm not as comfortable with it, but like say I did forget it and was walking and something happened to attack me, I don't know. Or like something was close enough. I would never go with my fingers over 30 yards. 20 yards, I'm still pretty accurate with it. Like it's hard to even tell the difference besides your fingers hurt when you're trying to pull back 70 pounds. But I needed that. I still need to go out in the woods with some kind of gear holder. So again, yeah, I'm going to have Little Debbie's in there because there's nothing better than eating Little Debbie's in the woods. But like in the bino case, I can carry like Little Debbie's, my grunt call, my bleak call, my doe spray, a small can of nose jammer, you know, while also having, because I really just wanted it for my rangefinders, which that was a new thing for this year's hunting too, because I've never used it before. It was always like, you know, get somewhere new and kind of pay something off, or you get really, after a while, you get to know, be like, okay, that tree is at 20, that tree is at 30. And I finally broke down this year because of you, even though I used to always pick on you for taking rangefinders.
It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to hurt my feelings every day.
I like hurting your feelings.
I know you do. And rangefinders are fantastic and sitting there pacing the woods going, all right, this treats this. I've thought of this year of just putting like pieces of paper and laminating them and sticking them to a tree and ranging one spot so I don't have to keep ranging it.
We
20 yards, 30 yards.
We talked about that at Andrews because he had the rangefinders. He had rangefinders before I did, and we were gonna go to his place and put like trail marking ribbons on trees at like, so this one's 20, this one's 30, this one's 40, and not a lot of them. We weren't gonna mark every tree, but we were gonna mark like a decent circle around where we were at. I mean, it all kind of comes down to what people want to wear for gear and everything like that anyways. I mean, I'm trying new things this year just because I'm kind of trying a new way of hunting. So, I mean, that's why I wanted the bino case, and now I'm reusing like the nose jammer and the mechanical broadheads. You gotta change stuff up sometimes. It took me a long time to convince myself for that.
Fix it.
Yours is broke.
Well, how's my broke? I've been using Scent Killer my whole life. I've been using
I want to see these deer numbers though.
Fixed. Oh, I have no deers in archery. I can talk about gun season all day.
Yes, and if anybody caught that, you did say deers.
Deers.
No, it's deer.
Deer.
No, yeah, just deer. There's no at the end
There's
of it.
deers.
No. You see all them deers out there in them fields? We're going to go catch them. Catching deer. Zzz.
I bought a lot of their merch. I have all their turkey hats, a couple of their deer hats, a couple of t-shirts.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's... I can't tell anybody or want to tell anybody exactly how to hunt, or because it's different for everybody in your location and everything like that. I can tell you ways that could make it better in my experiences, but there's experiences that I've had that other people have and go two different total ways. It's like 10% skill, 90% luck a lot of times with hunting.
No, it's all luck for me.
Well, okay, for you.
I have no skill.
You just also go to 1 or 2 spots that you've picked a year. You don't try new things or go to new areas.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's broken because it's not working, apparently.
How is it not working?
Because it's not working. You just said you ain't had no bow deers.
Not yet.
Right. Yeah.
I've had
How many
them
years
come in.
how many years you been going at it?
Yes, I know.
I mean,
but I've had plenty of deer come in.
You've
to
whacked
bow
you
range.
at least whacked one with your bow.
Crossbow.
No, you shot pronghorn with your bow.
I didn't kill the damn thing.
That's what I'm saying.
I whacked it.
Right.
Pissed me off because he tried to duck my arrow.
Should never have ducked your arrow at 10 yards that you shot it at.
He ducked my damn arrow.
Mm-hmm.
He knew I was there.
Or you were just shaking so bad that the arrow was just doing one of the wobble effect, and when you released it, it was on the up wobble, so it just soared through the air. So it is broke.
It's not broke.
I think you should go do like a good long stalk walk on state land.
No.
Yeah.
No, because you.
Do I gotta start hunting with you again? Do you guys start hunting with me again? Do I need to like?
No, that was torture.
Do
you
I need?
think army is torture? Oh hell no! Hunting with you was torture.
I think you need to hold on to my pocket and follow me around.
Ain't no prison.
I'll get you one of them little straps, so I'll tie you off to my waist, and you can just follow me. I'm not dragging your ass no more because you got a lot bigger than me. It was fine when you were a little bit shorter and a little bit lighter. And come on, let's go. We got turkeys over in that field. We got to go get them.
Yeah, we never got them.
It was fun though.
For who?
For me. So, I mean, that's kind of really all I had this week. I wanted to talk about our broadheads. We did that. Wanted to talk about my little experience with my doe this early season.
Goddamn luck.
It's been so warm though.
We're having a cold front though.
I know, but I've really never got one in early season to have the issues like with the flies and everything we had. I mean, as soon as the guts came out when we were gutting her, it was flies on it. I mean, hundreds of them. And then, we took her up to the drive so we could get the truck. Got back with the truck 10 minutes, and it was just fly loaded. Like, we had to, literally, I was, hitting her side to try to get the flies away. It wasn't even effective. We had to, pick her up and swing her with me and Andrew, leg on leg to, shake her enough to get the flies off, throw her in the back of the truck, get to Dad's truck to throw her in the covered truck so that the flies would stay off her. And it's just been so warm that, we'd like to at least let them hang for a little while. We had to get the, big shop farm fan on her to have enough air to keep her cool. It did. She never got cookie or nothing like that. Never did the meat bad. But it was mostly to keep the flies off because it was just so bad. And we still had, there was one spot we had to cut off because the flies did get to her. But
this is why it's called scouting season early.
Oh, that's why I did it last.
You gotta scout early season. You know everything about the damn deer.
Last night we went and did a hunt on state land, and Andrew kept telling me, he's like, "Oh yeah, hunting it." I was like, "Oh, I am too." But I'm pretty much just scouting at this point.
I'm not shooting.
And last night was warm. I mean, I was sweat. I had just that thin long sleeve shirt on, that microfiber stuff, and I was still.
You're gonna need something different this weekend.
I was still sweating. Yeah, I know. That's why I was I'm glad I got my doe out of the way, because now I can I don't have to be I gotta go every day so I can get my deer. I can be I got enough meat in the freezer right now for a couple weeks to be okay. Am I still taking every 10 minutes that I can? Last night I had an hour and a half. It took 15 minutes to get there. I got up there, so I had an hour and 15, and I was I'm still putting a hunt on. No. It's more of a stalk, but I'm still putting a hunt on.
No, I'm not too concerned right now. I'll be concerned when it's the first day of muzzleloader and I have not seen one damn deer yet. Then you're gonna.
Well, you're good then, anyways, because you've already seen 3, so you're good. You can go at least a couple days into muzzleloader.
Yeah, at least.
We still have month and a half.
What?
2 months.
Of
we have-
archery, yeah.
We have
But
all
it's
of
like
October, November.
90
We got 3 months left.
What was it, 90 something days we have?
Yeah, we still got 3 months of seasons.
I'm fine with that.
I just hope I'm the first one to fill all out before you guys even get them. Oh, I'd be so happy.
Don't tempt me.
We still get-
I'll start whacking and stacking everything.
We still
myself.
gotta figure out our buck jar or something for this year. We haven't quite figured it out yet.
No, you can't start now with a buck jar. You gotta put it before the opener.
No, why?
That's how everyone does it.
I know, but I've already got mine, so I'll throw in like the $15 for the doe, because I only released one arrow, so it's $5 for the arrow,
I think that's when
And
it
it's
comes gun season.
$10 per. And like I know she's not gonna win, but I'll still no.
Yes.
It's all season.
No, it's gun season.
You're
I've never went to a hunting camp and had someone go, "Hey guys, let's have a buck jar for the whole season."
it's
No,
all season.
Opening day only.
No, it's all
Yes,
season.
It's the opening day.
Ours has always been all season. It was like every arrow you release at a deer was like $5. Every shell you use was like $5. And then
Jesus.
the biggest buck took a quarter of the profit, and the biggest doe took a quarter of the profit. And then the rest of it went to whoever was in charge for that camp or that hunt or whatever.
Well, since I don't get invited up here, I don't think I'm qualified for that buck jar.
No, it's you. If you want in on it, it's for everybody. Like I know our bow shop, you could still go to this day. Like I already got mine, but I could be like, oh, I think she might win. I'm not going to. I'll just put in that I filled the tag, but I'm not going to put her weight in. For one, she was 120 pounds.
I think you should, because if we're actually gonna do this, I will purposely sit
and
there
we'll put the buck jar right here so people can look. It'd be really hilarious if it was all my money and nobody else had put money in it yet. Because I'm just gonna look at it all the time and be like,
And then the last day, one of us whacks a big old buck.
That's fine. That's fine, because we're gonna take
I'll be
50% of the winnings is gonna go to whoever won, and 50% of the winnings is gonna go to, for one, either the podcast or the filming, and then the other or to land maintenance on like Andrews, or one of the guys needs something this year and just can't have the money. Yeah, you're not allowed to come hunt Andrews. We've already told you that.
See how it is.
But on that note, Hunter, I'm going to leave you today because we, once again, have things to do. You got work to do. Paulie's kind of looking half bored over there. He's getting either really comfortable or really bored. And I still got to go back to school. So on that note, anything else from you?
No.
No? Paulie? Just going to shake your head at me? Not going to talk to the people today? Okay. So on that note, bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.